Hi guys, Darren here, Maths Guru. Really good to see you. Thanks very much for joining. If you can, like, subscribe, and tell your mates. That's all that matters to me. Well, having friends, obviously. You've got friends, haven't you? I hope. Anyway, what are we doing today? We are finishing the networks module. Life is great. Whoop whoop. And it's the final part. And it is challenging. I'm not going to say it isn't. But again, it's something that requires practice. So if you just watched my previous video, and I say just because I've only just recorded it, I recommend watching the scheduling one. All right, it's going to make life a lot easier to understand, or at least I preface what I'm about to do now. All right, this is tough. I've just said that, but don't worry about it. Practice. I've got a student who's with me at the moment who is, gunning this, trying so hard, asking for lots of help. Help me understand it, because she wants to do phenomenally well in her exam, and I'm hoping you do too. Don't ever walk in thinking, I'm just going to do enough. You go in and smash this, and these last few marks are ones that you can get. All right, what are we doing? Understand that we can alter completion times. Oh my goodness, what do I mean by completion time? Yes, the stuff I looked at in my previous video. Understand the concept of crashing, and I do not mean with a car or anything else. Do not crash. And understand that we can crash with a cost. Everything we deal with this type of stuff is really based on a real world problem, all right? We actually use this in real life. Builders, tradies, plumbers, all sorts of people use this, whether they realize it or not. It actually is real world. Huge companies who build have to use this type of stuff to try and work out what's going on. So in the previous video, we had an example here that Ferndale High School was planning to renovate this gym. It was a building project, and we went through this and we found its minimum completion time. And if I remember rightly, it was 38 weeks. And we found that there was a critical path that came through the network like this. Now, understanding what that critical path is critically important to this. It is the path through that takes the longest time. Now, there are going to be maths teachers crying, I've just said that. As far as I'm concerned, that's what's going to be the trick to this video, and that's the way I think about it. It is the path through that takes the longest time between points, a number of points. Now, if I explain again, as I did in my last video, there is no choice to go through activity A. I've got to go through activity A. There is no choice to get from those 2 points there, B and start, there's just one line. However, to go between here and here, I've got to find the longest time. What do I mean by that? Well, D takes 9 weeks to complete. C to E takes 8 weeks to complete. Well, it doesn't matter how long C and E take if it's 8 weeks, because I can't start F until D is finished. D is the thing that is holding my project to time. That's the thing that's taking the longest. If D was to reduce in time, then I'd have an issue, because suddenly I might end up with a new critical path. Is there any choice to get to F through F? No. But there is a choice to get from here to here. In fact, there are 3 choices. I can go through G and J. How long do G and J take to complete? 8 weeks. All right, so can L start after 8 weeks? No. We don't know, sorry. H and K take 5 and 7, which is 12 weeks. Oh, okay. So they're going to take 12 weeks. That's important to note. I've got to make sure that that happens. But there is one other path through there. There's G, I, and K, which if I add 4, 2, and 7 together, I get 13 weeks. And do you notice my critical path, that line through, happens to go through G, I, and K. Why? Because they are going to take 13 weeks to complete. So I cannot start L until those 13 weeks have elapsed. Doesn't matter that G and J only take 8 weeks. They'll undoubtedly have some float time in them, going back to the scheduling. And again, going through here, there is no choice. Now, we can change various parts of my diagram. We can make things cheaper. We can crash them, which means, well, okay, we can now bring in more tradies, and we can actually do D quicker. But when we do that, A, it's going to have a cost. Doing things quicker costs money. And in many cases, businesses don't want to spend more money. So we're trying to do this crashing the cheapest possible way. Yes? And when we crash, we may end up making an activity shorter and hence stopping it being on the critical path. Okay, so let's do an example. It's simple but nice. Now, I've taken this from the Cambridge textbook. Thank you so much, Cambridge, for allowing me to use your exercises. They are phenomenal. But I'm going to continue with what I do and put the Early start time, latest start time boxes on the activities, not on the vertices. All right, so B, comma 4. And there we go. All right, so sorry about my handwriting. What we're going to do is I'm going to scan through and scan backwards just to make sure we get the right numbers. So that's 0 and 0. A takes 2. So B's got to start after 2 weeks. B takes 4. It's got to start after 6 weeks. D takes 6. So that can start at 6. E takes 7, which is 13, but we've got a choice here. So that's either 13 or the 6 plus the 3, which is the 9. I'd have to choose the 13. 13 and the 13 stay the same. So now our minimum completion time here is 13 weeks. And I'll explain why in just a second. 13. Now don't press stop, not just yet, guys. This is a preview video and you've reached almost the end of it, but it does continue over on maffsguru.com. Maffsguru.com, yep, that's my custom website. Bits of it you can see around me at the moment. That has been designed to allow the videos to be easier searched than they are on YouTube. So you can search by chapter, by textbook. Each video has downloadable notes for you, so you can put them in your summary book or your exercise book. There are exam questions, and there is more and more content and more stuff coming as time allows. So head on over there. It's absolutely free to sign up, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure that you guys enjoy maths and actually take out the mystery of maths. It is not as hard as you think. It is all smoke and mirrors. Okay, thanks very much. Take care, guys. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Stay safe.